Hola Reina y Hridaya team. My name is Amy and coming at you from Austria currently. I live in Austin, Texas, where I teach yoga and meditation privately and in corporate and group settings. Right now I am traveling about for a couple of months and headed back to the US here next week. I reached out via email and so wanted to respond. I'm very interested in the position that you have open at the retreat center, and so wanted to follow up with a video, tell you a little bit about myself, answer some of the questions, what I would like to get from the experience, what my dream life looks like, and you can get a better sense of who I am and if my experience and philosophies and thoughts will be a good mix with the retreat center. So again, I live in Austin, Texas, and I've been practicing yoga for almost 8 years. I've been a certified 200-hour teacher for 3 years, taught in studio settings to beginners to advanced, from vinyasa flow to alignment-based hatha and some yin yoga, as well as guided meditation. I also currently do virtual and Skype yoga sessions with family and friends. I also go into corporate settings and provide hour-and-a-half combined yoga and meditation. Up until about a month ago, I was also working full-time in a tech startup in Austin. So I was working for a software company called Trendkite, and I was an account manager. So I was in charge of a book of business of about 1.5 million, and I had about 90 different accounts working with the marketing and communication departments, from higher education universities to advertising agencies, and was working directly with professionals in the marketing departments to make sure that the software that they bought from us was implemented, they could use it, and then also renewing it. I also currently am a co-founder and creator of a local Austin retreat called The Disconnect. It is centered around digital detox, so it is a 2-day retreat out in the hill country, and you leave your phones in the car when you arrive, and it's really centered around being in a space that is away from the frenetic nature that everyday life and life. And so being able to come to the retreat center and really facilitating yoga classes, but also the retreat as a whole. So we also offer different wellness classes and sessions, and so coordinating everything from getting various teachers in and healers and body workers, also to ensure that everything is running smoothly, and I've been doing that for the last year. So really in the last month my focus has shifted away from the corporate everyday world that I was doing and focusing on yoga and meditation and being a part of that community. I think what really spoke to me about this position when I found it on Yoga Trade was, and in listening to some of the testimonials, was it was really about nurturing and healing and providing a space for people to come and nurture and heal in their own way, but having the offerings of yoga and meditation and silence and nature so powerful to be able to heal in whatever way that means to them. That also paired with the experience I have, creating from the Disconnect retreat and running that, to experience and managing different accounts, and also managing various teams that I've had throughout my career in the corporate world, managing small groups from 3 to 8 different teams of sales development representatives, and really being in charge of overseeing all of the books of business and revenue. And so making sure that everyone's tasks were completed and the numbers were hit, and that I was providing those back to upper management team in a very concise way. So that touches a little bit on my experience in accounting and managing people. Again, coming back to right now, I manage my my own company really in retreat, and so being able to make sure that the pricing and listings on the website is accurate so people can purchase directly, make sure that it's connected to PayPal accurately, make sure that the teachers are getting paid out, that that's being clearly and concisely communicated. So touching a little bit on my experience in that aspect, and so would really, looking for a place where I can potentially teach yoga meditation, which is a question I have that I'll end with, but also put to the experience I have in the business setting and world, but in an environment where I feel I'm actually giving back to people and helping people heal. And so that's really why this position spoke to me, and especially, Hridaya in Peru. And everything it encompasses, from the different silent meditation retreats to just the overall nurturing feel that I got, even in your response, Reina, and again in listening to a lot of those testimonials and looking at how the retreats have been run. It seems to be very much directly tied and connected to going back to the healing and that lives within us and that we are capable of, but bringing that out in a different setting, particularly in the space where you're located. So what do I want to learn from this experience? This really ties back into what my dream life looks like. I want to, one day be able to have my own international retreat company. I say international now, that could absolutely change after I have this experience. Maybe I want to stay in South America, stay in Peru. Maybe I want to, travel and take that individually, but it involves, bringing yoga and meditation and a space for people to come and heal in their own ways, and provide that to people who maybe necessarily haven't been curious about yoga or meditation in those terms, but ultimately a space where people can come and find silence and provide even a healing in between. You mentioned the plant medicine culture that is very big where you're located, and so I think that why and what I want to learn from this is really, what aspects of it do I want to take with me in my own business and practice and what I'm offering people, and is it more so focused towards staying on the business side of things, and bringing in healers and overseeing from a holistic 30,000-foot view, or do I really want to take the bits and pieces I'm taking and do it from an individual perspective and travel around to different villages and areas where this is really a form of therapy and healing, into places where yoga and meditation and what the West looks at them, and has kind of created this idea of making it inaccessible, and taking that into places where people are under distress, and it's really powerful and important that they have ways to heal themselves when their life circumstances are very different. So that's really what I want to learn from the experience. Also learn from experts who have been doing these retreats for so long, and how do you offer it to people who are coming from different experiences and traumas perhaps, and really provide something that overall will fit and be receptive to a variety of different types of people. I think that's really something I want to learn as well, of course, of the ends on how do you make a profit from this, while still staying true to the purpose and being able to provide it to people who maybe don't necessarily have a lot of extra funds for these types of retreats. I am available to start really here in another 4 weeks. So I would say towards the end of September, I'm making my way back to the US next week. And so I will be back in Texas in 2 weeks. And that would really give me time to, get some things together, make sure that my apartment is Airbnb'd and I have some loose ends tied up. I have not been to Peru. I have been to Colombia most recently. Also, hablo español un poquito, pero necesito y quiero practicar y aprender más. Vive en Nicaragua. Hice 3 meses y mi español es conversational and básico, pero el objetivo es fluido. So I really want to learn more, and I have my mom is Mexican. She's fluent. I grew up listening and hearing it a lot. Not fluent myself right now, but I did live in Central America for 4 months. Live with a family, and so conversational, but really determined and have a goal of becoming fluent and picking things up very quickly. I like to think of myself as a sponge. So this opportunity, again, being in the location where it is, really speaks to my heart, and, you know, encompasses a lot of, you know, what my dream life is. And right now that is to live in a Spanish-speaking country. It's to be around a community that really is focused on healing each other and themselves, and a really a space that is also centered around nature. I think that's one of the most important things, and for me, that has been to bring myself back to a grounded, balanced place, is to go outside and be around something that's so rooted. And then paired with my professional experience to, in 5 years, if I want to go back into the corporate world, or if I want to have my own practice and business, I'm really, you know, encompassing all of those things that are in my past, what I see for my future, and also present, you know, how I feel in the community I want to be a part of. So that's a lot. I hope that wasn't too long-winded and I answered all your questions, but I would love to speak with you more if this sounds like it would be a good fit. I also wanted to follow up, and I'll follow up in an email, but did have, you know, three questions. You know, what a sample of a typical day would look like for the booking and accounting position. I know it's could maybe be a little undefined right now, but that would be great just to have like a sample. Also, is there the potential to lead and guide any yoga and meditation sessions? That is important for me. You know, maybe not starting out if that is not an option currently, but knowing that is eventually something I would like to be able to be involved in, is to lead those, given my experience and my passion for guided meditations, and also, you know, teaching the asana part of yoga, as well as encompassing all of the limbs. Third, what is the timeline of the trial period? I know you mentioned, you know, trying it out, seeing if it works. I would like to do a 2 to 3 week, you know, determined set period. And then from there, know that after that time period, then we would revisit the conversation and what that would look like as far as pay, and then also what would be included in the trial period, as far as room and board, meals, so some more details around that. I really appreciate your time and listening to this, and again, I'll follow up with an email with these questions, but I really look forward to speaking with you, and apologies for delay in this video. I was traveling and so didn't really have Wi-Fi and the ability to upload this, but namaste, and I hope to hear from you soon. Adios.